Hey there, Ellie. Okay, you got a couple questions, but I'm going to start with this one first. Right now, you let me know that you feel like you're clueless on what your look is, and you're just trying to figure out, but you feel like you're wasting your time trying to figure out what type of modeling you're best fit for. And even though we've had other conversations about this, I think this is a great moment for the community at large to really learn from this, right? So, model university is not for me. It's not for me. I already have a full-time career. I'm already multi-agency represented. I know what my look is. I know the goals that I want to reach. I've already reached many of the goals that I've set for myself in my career. I travel internationally. I'm booked constantly. I make money from this full time. I do what I love. People pay me for it. Like, I already have the end result. And now all I'm doing is scaling it. That's it. Okay. So the university is not for me. I've been doing this as a model for 12 years. I've been full time for like the last 5 to 6. So that other 5 to 6 years before I became full time, that process is who the university is for. It's the process to take you from not knowing what works for you, being frustrated, not being able to get paid what you think you're worth, not knowing what to do next, to the goal that you have in mind. It's there to bridge the gap. Okay. The reason that I teach the fundamentals is so you know what works for you already. You know what works in your market. You know what your rate should be. You know what the goals you're setting are. You know why you're doing this. That's what the fundamentals are for. Every model who's inside of this group chat can literally earn the guide for free, something that I have charged people for in the past. And with a little dedication and involvement just in this free group, right? Well, free for the moment, you guys get access to something that people have paid for and invested in. The reason that I work with models hands on is because sometimes, even when you have the tools, you don't know how to use them. It's you teaching yourself. That's why I work with models hands on. That's why I expedite the process. That's why I teach them how to do 12 months worth of work in 12 days. Like, that's the whole reason. It's because I understand how frustrating it is to go through years of just trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, trying. It worked. Great. It worked, now it failed. And you try again, fail again, try again, fail again, try again, fail again. But the thing is, I went through that process so long because there was nobody who was raising their hand and saying, hey, I can teach you how to do this. Hey, I've done this before. Hey, here's a step-by-step guide, and let me hold your hand while we go through it. There was nobody like that for me. So I became that person. But here's the thing. I cannot make you invest in yourself. I cannot make you get the help that you say that you want. I cannot make you sit down and do the research if you don't want to get the help that you want, right? If you are at a space where you cannot invest the money in yourself, no worries. You are going to invest the time. And the more you look at it as a waste, the less likely you are to show up and do the work. I spent 5 years of my life figuring it out. I did not let the thought of the process being long or the idea that I was wasting my time stopped me from doing the work. And if we as a collective of models don't understand that if you're not going to invest the money, you're going to invest the time, you are going to constantly feel like, oh, I should be farther along. But should you? Should you? I've told you guys this story so many times when I didn't want to invest in my portfolio, even though at that point I had reached a ceiling for how much people were willing to pay me for the portfolio that I had. It wasn't until I got a model mentor that told me, hey, you're not a bad model, but this work isn't really showing what's best for you. Like, I see why you can't book a job that pays you over $250 because your portfolio. If you just sit down and invest $500 in your portfolio, you can literally book higher paying jobs. And you know what I did with that information? Nothing. I wrote it off. I don't want to spend $500 on my portfolio. I've done so much on my own for free. And it was that thought of, I'm not going to invest in myself. I can do this on my own. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. That kept me doing work for $250 for an additional year. And it wasn't until I sat down, I was finally just like, you know what? I can't expect somebody to pay me more. I can't expect somebody to value me more if I don't value myself enough to put up money into my career. I've gone as far as I could for the free. Now it's time for me to take another step in the direction of building my career. And I didn't look at that money as, oh, I'm wasting $500. I didn't look at the whole process as, oh, I'm wasting my time. I should be further along. I looked at it as, I know what goal I have for myself. I know where I want to go. This is a part of that process. And when I invested the money in my portfolio, do you know what I did? I booked 2 jobs that were paying me over $500. When I listened to a mentor, when I got a mentor and I listened to them, because getting one is one thing, but listening to them is a whole nother thing. When I got a mentor, I got a new perspective on what I can be doing with my career and the way to do it. When I listened to my mentor, I started making money. So if you're at a space where you can't invest the money into your career, you're going to have to invest the time. And you're going to have to stop looking at it as a waste and understand it's a part of the process. Because if you're not going to spend money, you're going to spend the time. If you don't feel like you want to invest the time, then invest the money to expedite the process. But until you come to a grip of, hey, either I'm going to see this as an investment of my time and work until the money makes sense, or I'm going to stop being in my own way and invest the money so that I can cut the time in half, in 10, in 20, and I can get the money faster and get the investment back faster, you're going to be exactly where you are in this question. And the only person who could change that is you.